Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today the United Nations celebrate the anniversary of the Holocaust victims worldwide. Therefore, I kindly ask you for a minute of silence. Thank you very much, Eli Buzablo, for such a nice song. Thank you to all of you who struggled very hard to survive the traumata of World War II and Hitler's regime. We have to say that today the refugees, most of the refugees, complain all the time. If there is something they don't like, they set the accommodation on fire, they stab, they kill, they rape, they gang rape, just on the flimsy pretext of traumatism. I have to say that after World War II, there have been billions of people worldwide that have been traumatized by Hitler's regime, by raping, by gang rape, by being buried alive, by torture in prison, in Hitler's prison. There have not been only Jews in Hitler's prison, there have been people whoever he never wanted or who did not do what he wanted them to do. So we have to be very careful to say poor refugee. Or if we say, if we torture a refugee, that is of course not okay. It's also not okay to say that we are to compare the refugee camps with concentration camps, because this is something completely different. There was a middle-sized refugee camp in Austria that have been world famous because it was under the direct management of the Austrian government and it worked perfectly. But later on it was different and then it didn't work. But first, middle-sized camp was okay. People had what they needed and they had more than lots of the local people had. In the concentration camps, people came to these camps to be tortured and killed because Hitler didn't like them. This was something completely different. No food, no clothing, cold and damp and torture. This is what does not happen in the refugee camp. So be very careful if you say that. And if a young female refugee says at the press conference, I do not want to adapt, we don't have to adapt, we don't have to integrate, then send her back. Because she has to adapt and integrate all over the world. Because this is what you have to do. And ghetto classes, very often, the refugees and immigrants cause the ghetto classes by themselves, by acting like apes and pigs, ruining everything, dirtying up the place, attacking females in class, bullying, and do not live according to the rules of the countries they are living in. This is number one. And number two, of course, all politicians are responsible for ghetto classes, which have been in Austria for 20 years. Because they allowed more than half of the class is immigrant or refugee, without knowing the proper language and the rules that apply in this country. So number one, successful common practice worldwide is that language classes start at the same level, because this provides the best success. So you have to think all on these things too, because racism, Nazis, they work on this basis, on unhappiness, on riots, on chaos, and we have to treat people a little bit better than in the past, especially in Austria. To point with fingers at the rich, of course, this is okay, because the rich are paid at the moment and the poor are not, but the poor are damned because they cannot pay their invoices or bills anymore. This is not okay. If we pay every crook in the government, If we pay every male and the females are not paid for their hard work, and the female brought success to the country, the only female advisor brought lots of things that put an end to the chaos of the refugee crisis. There was hard work compared to the crooks that have been paid. And she has not been paid for 2 years. And then government people say, oh, we respect females, we respect the Austrians. This shows a complete different picture. And it is basis for lots of Nazis and racists. So you should not wonder when lots of people are not satisfied with the country anymore. So thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you listen to these words a little bit. From the bottom of my heart, Hertha Toolsie, Ambassador for Peace 214 and 216, member of the Academic and Education Council of the United Nations Systems. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.